Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly. I hope you're all managing to enjoy that sunshine a little bit today. Today, we're going to be chatting about Antonio, all he's done for the club, his horrific injury, his surprisingly fast recovery to date, and what the future could hold for him. So, without further ado, let's go. So, West Ham Network, it's time to chat about Michail Antonio. Now, we all know he had the horrific car crash back in early December, where his car hit a tree and the car was in absolute bits to a point where people were actually questioning whether or not he could have made it out of that crash alive. But everything's been going to plan so far in terms of recovery, and he's actually since spoken with the BBC. So, for anyone that hasn't seen it, we're just going to be running through that as well as chatting about what the future could hold and what we can realistically expect from Antonio in the coming year. Now, he spoke about the injury in a lot more detail, and he also did a big part where he spoke about his future in football and his views on West Ham. So we know that he's no stranger to working with the media, to a little podcast. It was actually a really, really nice interview and really interesting just to hear how he's getting on. So he went into more detail about the injury. He was explaining that he shattered his femur bone in 4 different places. But with one keyhole surgery, they were actually able to attach a pole with bolts and hold everything together. So it didn't require a major operation. Obviously, it is still a major operation, but it could be done via keyhole, which I'm sure is beneficial in terms of the recovery. Now, he said that his first surgeon insisted that he shouldn't put any weight on that leg at all for 3 months, which would have been around now, basically, that he could have started to weight bear. However, he has exceeded all expectations and he's managed to get on his feet long before this. Obviously, we saw him at the game. We've seen pictures of him walking. He is back on his feet. Now, he said the second specialist gave a different opinion and helped him to gradually increase the weight that he could put on that leg, going from 10% to 100% over the space of 3 weeks. So obviously that's a very big old difference. But again, he's being ambitious and he's just trying to do everything he can to get back and to get fit. And then he kept his crutches for another 2 weeks before not needing the crutches. So the prognosis based on what he said is that it's going to be between 6 and 12 months before his leg starts healing properly. Obviously, it sounds like it's basically held together by metal at the moment, but again, it's all a step in the right direction that he is able to walk around freely. Now, he was also asked whether he would play football again, which at the time of the accident seemed absolutely impossible. Like we said, even just looking at the pictures of that car, you would think that that's not somebody that's going to be able to ever play at any sort of top level of football again. But Antonio has said yes. In fact, he said that he will 100% play again. He's very confident. He's currently working 6 days a week, training, and is remaining positive. And he's feeling confident that he's 2 to 3 months ahead of where the expected recovery would have been. And he's also said that he knows he's going to recover that sharpness once he's back playing. So basically, hopes are high, confidence is high, and it's giving me the confidence as well. So when he was asked about how he was feeling about people asking about when he was going to return, he told the BBC, "I like that people care enough to come and ask me the question, so I don't mind repeating it 1,000 times." And then he ended the interview saying, "The goal is to be back scoring goals." So I like it. I like this fighting attitude, and I think it's definitely something that you need. So the question is, from this interview, from everything that's going on, what can we take from this? So first of all, I think it's incredible to hear that Antonio's recovery is going even more smoothly and quickly than expected. And with him weight bearing, hopefully it's not going to be too long before he's working his way back towards training with the team or a team. We'll discuss that as well in a second. His confidence is remarkable, and it's definitely the mindset that you need in a situation like this, isn't it? To get back to where you want to be, you have got to fight for it, and that's exactly what it sounds like he's doing. I've got everything crossed that he can do exactly that. And it's definitely going to be a humongous season, like a lead up to next season for Antonio, because first of all, it's going to let us understand how close he is to match fitness, because obviously we're at a point in the moment where he can weight bear, and that's amazing. But when the actual training side of stuff starts to kick off, we'll see how close or far he is from playing football, let alone at Premier League standard. But here's hoping that we're all pleasantly surprised and that he's running around before we know it. Which brings me to the question for you today, and it's quite a difficult one. With Antonio's contract running out, what do you think we should do? Because is this one where you see how he's getting on, and if he's able to play at the standard we need, even for a short period of time, like an impact sub, would you give him an extra year on the contract if it didn't cost a fortune? It's always been a tough one because whatever we've tried with our strikers, we've always relied on falling back to Antonio. And obviously now we're in a situation where this can't happen, but we do have this huge pressure on signing a striker this summer. But not just one striker, we need like backup options to come in so that Bowen's not being relied upon as a striker. There's a lot of work that he's doing up top, but the question is, could Antonio fall into that piece if we gave him an extra 1 year contract and he hit the ground running and it was like as a proper backup player? There's a lot of things to discuss there. Given Antonio's love of the club though, and the positive words about how he hopes to get back to the same level, that's what I want to know from you. Do you think we should make a move to hold on to him if we can make it not a crazily expensive move rather than him becoming a free agent? Or would you just let that contract run down and part ways and hope that he goes on to do something that makes him happy elsewhere? Let us know down below in that comment section. So that is all from me for right now, but tune in at 5 p.m. where I'm going to be running through your Hammers headlines for today. Have a brilliant day. Enjoy that sunshine. And until next time, come on, you Irons. Irons.